Welcome back to another Ratface 44 Reviews. My name is James, and today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Tripwire. So let's get this started! So before we get this started, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share with your friends. We do fun action figure things here. Big shout out to my friend Luke who hooked me up with Tripwire. So before we open up Tripwire, let's take a look at the packaging. You got a nice digital render of Tripwire. Tripwire looks like he's in a cave with his little bomb disposal robot. You got a little thing right here. I'm not sure what that is. Oh yeah, that's that rat. That's right, I remember. You got all the ton of accessories up here on the corner. You got a nice piece of artwork on the side of Tripwire. Very cool. And on the bottom, you got the G.I. Joe logo, Hasbro logo, G.I. Joe Tripwire. And on the side of the packaging, same artwork. I really like this artwork. It's pretty cool. I like the orange background. Number 78 in the line. And on the back of the packaging, you'll see a digital render of Tripwire with all of his accessories, zoom in shots of some aspects of the action figure. You got the little tampo on his shoulder and you got the helmet. Very cool. Boring stuff at the bottom, and on the side of the packaging you see the same artwork in blue, number 78 QR code. So I have my trusty scalpel here. Let's go ahead and open up Tripwire. Here is all of his accessories in the box. Tripwire, Aspera, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and McLeod. I guess that's his little bomb disposal robot. And this is what what it stands for: Mobile Armored Control Lever for Explosive Ordnance Disposal. Well, that's a big mouthful of words. Number 78. Let's go ahead and take out all the accessories. Quick shot of Tripwire in the cardboard imprisonment. And let's go ahead and take out all the accessories. Lots of accessories. Holy moly. Great, let's go over the accessories from smallest to biggest like we always do in this channel. So first off, we have these mines. It has a nice silver paint application. Has some molding detail here. And a little peg at the bottom. There are two of them. Next we have this sidearm, pretty standard with G.I. Joe. I really appreciate them having a sidearm. That's really cool, some nice little detail. And it's made of this kind of a darker gray plastic. And next we have his little Nintendo Switch. It looks like some sort of control pad for the robot. Next off we have his little pet rat, bomb detector rat. Sniffs out some explosive. Has some really nice paint application here, some molding fur detail. Looks like he has a little harness on him, or her, not really too sure. Let's check. He has some paint detail on his little ears, and the bottom is painted kind of grayish, brown kind of paint application on the little rat here. To my understanding, this is a very special rat. In real world, they actually use these type of rats to sniff out explosives. Really cool. I don't know if it has any eye detail, but it looks like there is little black dots for his eyes. Very cool. And next we have another standard hose, just like before with Televiper. Same hose, reused. And next we have this little, I'm assuming this goes around maybe his neck or his face. And next we have another similar one. This probably goes around his neck again. Has some sort of, has kind of wrinkled details, molding details on this protector. And we have his bomb detector, metal detector wrapped in this cardboard to keep it straight, which is very appreciative since they use very gummy plastic. So far, it's a little bendy, but it's not as gummy, and this is made of a harder plastic. So this is basically like a metal detector, and like it has these OD green highlights on the handle, and it has this kind of little scanner thing at the bottom. Very cool. Has some kind of wire details, some handle details here. Very neat. I like that a lot. And you got the little arm support. It looks like maybe there's a peg here for the hose. And one of the most original things that come with this figure is this little bomb disposal robot. Very cool remote control robot. Has an articulated arm here that moves all which ways. Very cool. Has a little hand grapple thing. So this is very real world. Has some tank tread details so it doesn't fall over. Oh, it looks like there's like a little eye with some red paint application. Very cool. Check that out. Has some wheel details. Nothing special on the bottom. Moves around all which ways. Very cool. And look, oh, and I just saw there is a handle on here so he can pick it up. Very cool. And next we have his vest. Pretty cool vest. Gray plastic. OD green highlights. Got some little loops here. Very cool. Got some plate detail on the back and the front. Peg for a backpack. And it's made of a softer type of plastic. Strap details. And guess what? It's removable. And it has pegs and holes on here. Very cool. Hasbro should really do this more often so we can take off the vests. And can't wait to load this guy up. So we have two helmets. This is the more traditional OG helmet that Tripwire has. I think I'm going to utilize this. The other one is more, I guess, real world. We'll take a look at that in a moment. So there is a gray type of visor on this helmet. Has a nice chin strap just like the vintage. And guess what? We'll have a vintage comparison like I always try to do in every video that I do. So it's in OD green. It has a gray kind of comms on his ears, both sides. Very cool. And here is the more realistic, real world bomb disposal mask. Same color, OD green, gray plastic, and it has a nice black visor that goes across his face. There is a kind of gold application on the top of the helmet. Very cool detail. Check that out. And on the back, looks like there's some sort of electronic detail in this gray. Very cool mold. And lastly, we have his backpack. This is where the mines go. I believe just like the old school, they kind of fit right here. And I believe maybe only one can fit unless there's another port to put this in. But the old school one had a bunch that you could fit all in here. So we'll find out later whether we can actually hold two mines on this backpack. So there's some really cool detail on this backpack. Some kind of wrinkled pocket detail. It has some green highlights here. There is some sort of readout screen on the bottom. You can see the little graph. There is the port for the hose, and it looks like you could hook in the metal detector on the side and a peg for the backpack. Got some metal sheet detail on the bottom. I like this backpack. It's very reminiscent of the vintage. So that's it for all the accessories. So let's take out Tripwire out of his packaging. So here's Tripwire, all of his packaging. Let's go ahead and take a look at the style and aesthetics of this action figure overall. So first off, he has this big vest on. It looks like some sort of bomb disposal vest to protect him from the blast. The vest is gray. Everything is pretty gray, and underneath an OD green outfit, just like the vintage. He has a tampo on his shoulder. Check that out. Very cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. He has a very stylish face. It's very unique. His eyes look pretty straight. Kind of. It's a little off. He has some kind of light brown hair parted on the side. He has kind of a pointy chin, pointy nose. Got some nice details on his face. It looked like he may have some scars on his face. His neck has a different shade of green underneath, so maybe he has an undershirt kind of up to his neck. Got some pouches on his vest, shoulder pads with some nice sculpted details on the shoulder pads that go onto the back. Very cool backpack hole. Double jointed elbows. He has these gray kind of gauntlets on his forearms. Darker gray gloves to protect his hands. He has a protective crotch piece. It's made of this softer plastic. He has these kind of thigh protectors and a holster for his sidearm. Not much detail on the back here. Got some wrinkled pant details, knee pads, gray shin guards, and boots kind of in one. Darker gray feet protectors goes on his boots. Very cool. I don't know if this has been reused before. It looks like maybe a brand new mold, I believe. Let me know in the comment section down below. So let's go over a little bit of articulation here. I know he has a really big vest on, and it is removable, which is really cool. We'll go ahead and switch that out in just a moment. Butterfly joints in his shoulders move pretty freely. Surprisingly, there's enough space for him to move his shoulder joints, which is very cool. Of course, the ab crunch is hindered by the vest. Double jointed knees, like I was saying, double jointed elbows. You know, he can move. Let's go ahead and try to move these knees. I know there is a problem with these classifieds, and a little bit of heat will make it a little bit easier to move his knees. So that moves pretty freely. Second one moves pretty freely. It is tight. I'd rather have them tight. You got a nice boot cut here. Very cool. So pretty standard for G.I. Joe classifieds. I like how the vest doesn't hinder too much articulation. Of course, the ab crunches hinder, like I was saying. So let's go ahead and try out the vest. There are two sides on this figure that you could unlatch, so you don't really need to take the head off, which is very, very cool. I like that. Very easily removable. So you can see the standard body. Looks like they could reuse this body like many times to finish off the old school Joes. That is really cool. I enjoy that. I can't wait for the rest of the figures to be released, and this is the body to do that. So check that out. There is some material detail, molding detail on this figure. He does move very well. Nice ratchet, not loose at all, or not loose very much, I should say, but it's not like Firefly or Snake Eyes. He is very tight. I like the look of this figure without the vest. Very cool. You can get some good poses out there. The shoulder joints are very cool. Check that out. That just is awesome. I'm very impressed with the articulation and the quality of this figure. Paint apps are pretty good. The eyes on second look, they look pretty straight. So let's go ahead and put the big vest on. Tripwire here. It should be super easy. If in the indication of the other vest being removable, it was very easy to put on. Check that out. That is really easy to put on, I should say. That is a nice breath of fresh air, as opposed to Valaverse with Wave 1. That was very annoying to do. But that's a win for Hasbro. Check that out. I am really impressed. Looks pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and put, I believe this is a neck protector, just like in the Hurt Locker. He had a giant neck protector in that movie, which is real world for sure. Big bulky outfit. I believe that's the way it goes. I haven't looked at any pictures to tell you the truth on the configuration of this figure, but I don't think I'm going to be using this. I believe that's the way it looks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll probably find out later on the internet and take a look at some pictures. So it looks like the pegs kind of came out. I mean, probably didn't press it in hard enough. There you go. You just need to press it in. There we go. You can't really see very well, but I think you need to put it down a bit. I think that looks correct to me. There is a smaller neck protector, I believe. For the other configuration, I think you need to take his head off, but we'll configure the other way around after this. That's really cool. So I'm gonna remove all this stuff and put it the way it was, because I like it that way, and we'll gear it up the way I want. So let's go ahead and put the original vest on. I like how it's a bit smaller, and that's the way I want to put it. And we'll gear up the rest of the equipment that he has, so it's really easy to peg it back in. Just give it a little squeeze. We'll go ahead and put in the smaller neck protector. I believe it goes that way. So here's the old school helmet. I'm definitely going to be utilizing this. It might be easier to put this helmet on without him being attached to the body. I'm going to try that. So I was able to put on his helmet on the head. It was a little bit easier to put it on before I attached the head to the body. So that looks really cool. Alright, let's go ahead and arm him up. Put the sidearm in the holster. Check that out, that works really well. Next, we'll put the backpack on. That looks cool. And there is a hose. It's because we need a big hose for this, because it needs power. And I believe it goes right here. It just ports right in. No, so it ports on the top. Let's see how this fits in his hand. I believe it goes in this way, just like the OG version. And the handle is very gummy, so beware of that. So there is another mine here that it's kind of free and doesn't really fit anywhere on this backpack, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I'm guessing you probably could put the mine in the grappling of this bomb disposal robot, so you can actually put it somewhere. So there you have it, guys. There is Tripwire, all geared up the way I want them to. You know, these extra pieces, you know, maybe you could utilize this on an extra stalker. That would be cool. But let's go ahead and do a vintage comparison. So here's my vintage Tripwire. He's in pretty decent condition. Unfortunately, there is a broken heel. That is my mistake. So let's go ahead and do a quick little comparison of both these figures. You know, of course, the classified figure is highly more detailed, but you can see the inspiration from the OG for sure. I believe this is his backpack. I'm not 100% sure that he had a brown one. This one could be from the weapons pack, accessory pack. But you could see the inspiration. The mines are connected to the backpack, and you could hold 3 of them. Unfortunately, he can only hold 1, which is kind of a miss in my opinion. So you can see he is wearing a smaller vest. I really like that in the old school one. That's why I want to keep the smaller vest on the Tripwire classified figure. But you can see, you know, it has the gray forearm guards. There is a tampo, like the OG one. The visor, he has a black visor. He has kind of a bluish gray visor. It is very, very similar with the chin strap and the comms on his ears. So there you have it, guys. There is my review of Tripwire. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Share with your friends. Heading towards 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. So Yo Joe and Cobra!